What is up, guys? It's me, SDC, and welcome to SDC, the NBA talk show, where we talk about all the news and games from the previous day in the world of the NBA. That being said, we have 3 games plus a couple of news stories to cover, so let's hop right into it. The Rockets vs Thunder saga finally came to an end yesterday. I shouldn't say finally because it was actually pretty short. As with their 105-99 victory behind James Harden and his 34 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists, the Rockets will now advance to the second round to face off either against the Jazz or the Clippers. Now, while the series may have ended relatively quickly in only 5 games, all of the games, well, almost all of them except for that game 1 where the Thunder lost by 31 points, were pretty close. I believe the last game where the Rockets won by 6 was the second largest point differential. And of course, for the Thunder, Russell Westbrook was a large reason to do with the games being so close. He put up some tremendous numbers in those playoffs: 37 points per game, almost 11 assists, and just under 12 rebounds. Just about anyone would be impressed with those numbers. Just about anyone, because there are some people who are still not impressed. Whether it be the fact that his teammates box out for him to get rebounds, or he makes some risky passes to get assists, or he takes too many shots to get those points. Some people just aren't impressed. Now, after yesterday, I think it's become clear as to where Patrick Beverley lies when it comes to how impressed he is with Russell Westbrook. As during the 4th quarter of yesterday's games, Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook got into a bit of a word exchange. And after the game, during the post-game interviews, they made it known to us exactly or pretty much what they said.
But now it shocked me because he said, he looked up and said, "No one can guard me. I got 40 points." I'm like, that's nice. He took 34 shots to get it. I mean, no, I'm not up here trying to bash anybody, but I mean, you know, men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't. Collectively, as a unit, we've done a great job on them. We try to make them shoot a lot of tough shots, and the numbers show.
Russell, things got a little contentious between you and Patrick Beverley. Can you talk about, you know, kind of what happened there?
Oh yeah, he was talking about he was first team all defense, but I didn't know what the hell he was talking about because I had 42 at the time. The series, you know, I don't know what he talking about. Maybe he was dreaming of some shit. I don't know. Sorry, excuse my cuss word, but I don't know what he was talking about. But I guess he wanted to be first team all defense or something. Maybe he was dreaming about it. I don't know.
Now, trust me, I get why this will make Westbrook fans not like Beverley so much. I mean, he just kind of took a shot at their favorite player. And I like Westbrook as a player. I mean, he's just so full of energy. He goes out there every single night and gives it everything he has. But that being said, if I had to side with who was right on this one, with Beverley saying the only reason Westbrook had 47 points yesterday is because he took 34 shots, or Westbrook saying Beverley was dreaming by saying he could contain him, I'm gonna have to go with Patrick Beverley simply because the stats don't lie on this one. Like I said, the Westbrook did average 37 points per game though this series, and if you just stop there, you'd think Beverley was crazy for thinking that was stopping him at all. But we are not going to stop there. We are going to dive a bit deeper into those 37 points per game. Russell Westbrook was taking an average of 30 field goal attempts per game, and he was only making just under 39% of those shots. And it gets even worse when you look at his 3-point percentage. I mean, he was taking 10 threes per game and making around 2.5, which came out to 26% from 3, which isn't good at all. Those shooting percentages aren't the best even compared to his regular season shooting percentages, which he was already getting some flack for from some other NBA fans. He shot 42% from the field during the regular season and 34% from the field, which were both already a bit below average. Taking a dip in his shooting percentage into account, I would say that Patrick Beverley and the rest of the Rockets actually did do a pretty good job of stopping Russell Westbrook. That being said, this was not to bash Russell Westbrook whatsoever. He was just simply doing what he thought he had to in order to get the Rockets the win. But I just gave some facts. Speaking of the game 5 between the Rockets and the Thunder, Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook weren't the only ones doing the talking yesterday, as Houston Rockets owner Leslie Alexander was sitting courtside during yesterday's games. And one of the benefits of getting to sit courtside is being able to make yourself heard. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing completely depends upon you and what you say, but if you are the owner like Leslie Alexander is, you probably have a bit more leeway as to what you say and to who you say it to. As during the first quarter of yesterday's game, he took it upon himself to walk up on the baseline to a referee and tell them how to do his job and then just go sit back down. I mean, hey, I would love if the owner of the Pistons did something similar like this during the game. I'd be all for it, and the Rockets fans sure did love it last night, so in the end, I guess that's all that matters. You gotta hand it to Rajon Rondo. He is tough, really tough. It was less than a week ago that he was reported to be out for the series with a broken thumb. And now, after he saw that the Bulls dramatically need him, like desperately need him to run the offense and essentially be the coach, report came out that Rajon Rondo is going to attempt to play in tonight's Game 5 against Boston. He just broke his thumb less than a week ago and now he's attempting to play. Whether or not you like Rondo as a player, you have to respect his heart. I worked in the food industry for a lot of years, a lot of years. And the closest thing I've ever had to something like this happening to me was finding $100 on the floor when I was sweeping. However, of course, someone came into the restaurant and was like, did I drop some money here? And me not wanting to have that on my conscience, I was like, you know what? Yeah, you did. Speaking of which, I'm still kind of salty because I feel like he didn't even tip in the first place. As far as I'm concerned, a chunk of that was mine. Anyways, back on track here. Gregg Popovich, the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. He may be strict with his players when need be, but outside of that, he is actually a really good person. Like, if you've ever watched a Popovich interview on anything other than basketball, you'll see it. He's a really kind person. He cares a lot about other people. So much so, in fact, that he apparently tipped a waitress $5,000 at a restaurant a few days ago. Yes, a picture surfaced of a waitress saying that Gregg Popovich tipped her $5,000 at a restaurant. That is insane. And that is really nice to see. I can only imagine how much better this person's life just became. That is, if this is true, of course. I mean, how hard it would it be to forge Gregg Popovich's hand signature, but at the same time, who would pick Gregg Popovich out of all people to make a fake report about giving them a $5,000 tip? Losing one, that's fine, no big deal. Losing two in a row, alright, you know, it was on the Grizzlies' home court and they are a good team. Still, no big deal. But losing 3 in a row for a $5,000 tipping Gregg Popovich-led team, that is out of the question. And the Spurs didn't lose 3 in a row as they got the 116-103 Game 5 victory over Memphis to go up to a 3-2 in this series. The two-star players for both teams were battling it out once again last night. Kawhi with 28 points for San Antonio, while Mike Conley had 26 for Memphis. But it was Manu Ginobili who inspired the Spurs last night. Now, he came into this game missing all 15 of his previous shots in the series, never making a single shot in this series. He connected on 4 of his 6 field goal attempts last night, but it wasn't the fact that he was actually hitting shots that was inspiring his teammates. It was the fact that he was out there throwing his body around like a rag doll, diving for loose balls, just bringing the effort, energy, heart, and hustle, whatever you want to call it, to the game. And it sure didn't go unnoticed by Spurs players or the coaches after the game.
Patty, in the back, what kind of boost did it give you guys when Manu came in the way he did, just right off the bat?
Yep, he brought that grandpa juice is what I call it, and we all followed. It's inspiring, you know. We shouldn't wait for him to do that before we get into gear, but it really is inspiring when you see him dive on the ball, putting his body on the line, hard drives, hard cuts. It gets us all going.
Other than that, Patty Mills had a postseason high of 20 points for San Antonio, hitting 5 of his 7 3-point attempts. This could be bad. Like, very bad for LA. Yesterday for me was considered to be a must-win game for the Clippers, as it was on their home court with a chance to go up 3-2 on Utah. And with Game 6 being played in Utah, it's going to be really tough for LA with the home crowd basically dying to see their Jazz escape the first round. And after the Jazz did get the win last night, 96-92, behind Gordon Hayward and his 27 points and Rudy Gobert and its 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 steals, whether or not there would be a Game 7 back in LA was what one reporter decided to ask Chris Paul.
Will the Clippers be back here Sunday playing a Game 7? What?
Your feeling about, your level of confidence that you'll be back here again.
What you think? I'm on the team. What you want me to say? No, it's over. I mean, that's what you want to hear? Yes. Come on, man. You've been doing this long enough. Seriously, right?
You can expand upon that.
No, I don't know. Everybody in here laughing for a reason.
And they used to tell us that there was no such thing as a bad question. Chris Paul had 28 points and 9 assists for the Clippers. And that wraps up all the action for the Day 11 recap of the 2017 NBA playoffs, and now it's time to get into the player of the day. Yesterday, you guys selected Stephen Curry and his 37 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds as your player of the day, and here are today's nominees. You have James Harden and his 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kawhi Leonard and his 28 points and 6 assists. Gordon Hayward and his 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Or Manu Ginobili and his 10 points and inspiring play. As always, you guys can go vote for the player of the day right now by following the straw poll link down in the description box below. But other than that, thank you once again for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA. And until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team STC, and I'm out of here.